Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Laz Jr. Do me one favor, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. I would gladly appreciate it. Also, hit the like button, please. Hit the notification bell because that lets you know when I have a new video. So, there's a lot of things going on with the LGBT and, things of that nature. Transgender, pronouns, all that stuff, right? There's only two genders in the world. Okay, so moving right along. They have Pride Night sometimes in the NHL, and some hockey players are not having it. Amongst other things, let's get into it.
An NHL defenseman under fire because he's uncomfortable with those who play for the other team. But did he deserve to be benched? Ivan Provorov is a 26-year-old Russian national who plays for the Philadelphia Flyers. Last Tuesday was Pride Night for a home game, and when the Flyers took the ice for their pregame skate before facing the Anaheim Ducks, players were wearing LGBTQ Pride Night warm-up jerseys and using sticks wrapped in rainbow tape. But Provorov stayed in the locker room. He cited his Russian Orthodox faith. I've talked here about the Russian Orthodox Church, which is part of the larger communion of Eastern Orthodox Christianity. Its patriarch, Kirill, has a close association and friendship with Vladimir Putin. The church maintains that homosexuality is a sin and will not bless same-sex unions. In fact, Patriarch Kirill has used homosexuality as a justification for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. After the game, Provorov was asked about his decision.
I respect everybody, and I respect everybody's choices. My choice is to stay true to myself and my religion. That's all I'm going to say.
Many are saying that Provorov should have been.
That's all he has to say. Homosexuality is a sin in the eyes of God. Jesus Christ is who I serve. It's who I live for. I'm not a perfect man. And if Jesus is against it, then people who live for Christ is against it. Not to mention, God gives us free will. We don't have to do something we don't want to do. And then it's even in the Constitution. Or excuse me, it's in the amendments. Let's get back into it.
Should have been benched for that night's game and are calling for his punishment. Philadelphia Inquirer columnist Marcus Hayes had this blunt reaction. He said, "So let's not complicate the issue. Provorov refused to warm up Tuesday night against Anaheim because he does not support the right of LGBTQ people to even exist. He cites his devotion to the Russian Orthodox Church. In his eyes, their life is a sin." About that, Patriarch Kirill, the church's leader in Russia and reportedly a former KGB agent, in May justified Russia's invasion of Ukraine because Ukraine allows gay pride parades. And if Russia and other homophobic states do not oppress LGBTQ persons, then human civilization will end there. This is
what's messed up. This hockey player never said anything about people that are homosexual shouldn't exist. He never said that. He's standing up for what he believes in. His rights, his constitutional rights. That being said, see how they just try to change the narrative and twist things up. No. It's a mess. That's what it is. Anytime you don't want to be for them, meaning for the agenda of homosexuality, gay, lesbian, or whatever it is, oh, you're homophobe and you're against us. Well, if he's not for you, people are not for you, and you want to say that they're against you, okay. All right. And it's not always about you. What about how other people think, their religions, what they think, what they believe is to be considered. Let's get back into it.
This is homophobia at its most extreme, and if you subscribe to this belief, you're a homophobe. A little rainbow tape on Provorov's hockey stick wasn't going to send him to hell. So yes, if the Flyers were staunch in their advocacy, Provençal should have been benched. To give you a sense of the widespread public fallout on this issue, some have even hurled nasty comments at the Instagram page of the adorable golden retriever belonging to Provorov's girlfriend. She felt compelled to post, "This is a dog's page. Please stop sending me hateful messages." As is often the case, the facts are straightforward here, but the issue's a little bit complicated. It has echoes in several recent cases that have reached the United States Supreme Court. You'll remember that in December, the court heard the case of a devout Christian website designer from Colorado who didn't want to make a website for a same-sex wedding, notwithstanding that she'd not even been asked to do so, which was similar in many respects to another Colorado case, the baker who didn't want to bake the wedding cake for the same-sex couple, who the court ruled in favor of by a 7-2 margin. The website designer is challenging a Colorado public accommodation law that prohibits most businesses from discriminating against LGBTQ customers. She argues that requiring her to create websites for same-sex couples, that would violate her freedom of speech. And it seemed from the argument and the reaction to the argument that the 6-3 conservative court is poised to support the wedding designer. On one hand, you had liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor saying, hey, allowing the designer to refuse would be, quote, the first time in the court's history that it would rule a commercial business open to the public, serving the public, that it could refuse to serve a customer based on race, sex, religion, or sexual orientation. But Chief Justice Roberts countered. He said to force the designer to build the website for the same-sex couple, that would be compelling her to speak. And he then asked, quote, in what other case have we upheld compelling speech? In other words, not simply restricting speech, but actually compelling an individual to engage in speech contrary to their beliefs. We don't know the outcome yet of the website case. My hunch is that the court is going to distinguish between service and speech. In other words, the baker, the website developer, the florist will be treated like artists who speak through their work and therefore are allowed to refuse business or service. The guy who delivers the tables and chairs to the wedding, not so much. Right. My own view is that if you're a baker of wedding cakes, it's your responsibility, it's your obligation to bake a cake for all wedding couples. Same with the wedding website designer, or the pharmacist, for that matter, who has qualms about distributing birth control. You signed up for the gig. You cannot now stand behind your religion as a shield when you discriminate. Instead, maybe you need a career change. But I see the hockey player differently. Provorov was hired to play hockey, which he's doing. I personally wish that he had skated with the Pride Night jersey and stick during the warm-ups. But in not doing so, unlike the baker, unlike the website developer, he's not discriminating against anybody. He's not denying service. I think we need to distinguish between discriminatory acts and discriminatory beliefs. Provorov is free to think what he wants and should.
Now, I agree with what he's saying with the hockey player. He signed up to play hockey. He didn't sign up to do all this other stuff. True. I understand his point when he's talking about the baker and the designer, and I get it. I get it. Okay, I get it. Still, it's a choice to serve somebody. Once you know what they're doing, what it's for, what the cake is for, what the website is for, say, hey, I'm not doing this. You don't have to do that. It's a choice. You'll say it's discrimination. Okay. You make a big deal about it. Okay. Because you can't get your way. Hey, they're not for homosexuality. They're not for that. They know how far it's going. They know how it's getting out of control. It's way out of control. And that's something that people are like, no, I want nothing to do with it. No. They see like this power that it has. And it's all over the place. It's an agenda and it's bad. And people are stepping up and fighting back and saying, no, I'm not drinking from this cup that you're trying to give me. Garbage. No. And they're pushing back. Flat out. Anyway, what do you think about this video? Please comment. I would love to know your thoughts. Till next time. Till next time. God bless.